This is our review on arithmetic sequences. We started out with, we got -4, -1, 2, and 5. So if you realize here, the pattern is adding 3. So if it's adding, this is arithmetic. And that would also mean that the explicit form would be f of n equals f1 plus m n minus 1. So if we're going to write explicit, we'll start with that. So f1 is our first term. So we've got f of n equals our first term. Our first number is -4 plus our slope is 3 n minus 1. And we do not have to use the first term. We've talked about this, that if maybe we choose to use 2. So fn 2 plus 3 n minus, because 2 is the third number, then we're going to minus 3 here. And if we were to distribute here and simplify these would turn out to simplify to the same thing. So let me show you real quick. The first one, we have -4 plus 3 times n is 3n. 3 times -1 is -3. 3. If I combine like terms, I have 3n minus 7. So that's what it simplifies to. And on this one, we got 3n minus 9 if we times it. So 2 minus 9 is also -7. So this is 3n minus 7. So it doesn't matter which one you use. We're mostly familiar with just using the first term, but you do not have to. Okay, and then we're going to write out the recursive form. So we'll have recursive, so fn, our previous term is fn minus 1, and then it's adding 3 every time. So that's recursive. So now if I wanted, let's say I wanted the 38th, that's not working. Okay, let's say I wanted the 50th number. So I'm going to plug in 50 for n. N is whatever number you want to find or whatever number you're looking for. So we also, first we reviewed on our test on our quiz we had a question, the fifth term. It talked about 2 terms and we had to find the slope. So it says the fifth term, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 8, and the 11th, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is 24. Yes, we could pick a number, guess and check, and see if it gets us to 24. Another way to do this is, because this is the 5th term and this is the 11th term, I can do x is 5, y is 8, and x is 11, y is 24. The change here is 24 minus 8, or 16, and 11 minus 5 is just 6. Well, this one doesn't turn out to be a nice number, but it's going to be m is 16 over 6. And that is going to reduce to 8/3. And so really this is adding 8/3 every time. So that would have been a really difficult number to guess and check since it's a fraction. 8/3 is the same as 2.6 repeating. Just heads up on that. So from here we can actually go ahead and write the equation if we wanted to find a new number. So I can use fn, and then I can use the 8 as the number here, but remember it's the 5th term, so I'm going to use that later. So plus, actually 8/3 in this one, because that's our pattern number, and then we're going to have n minus, and 8 here is the 5th number, so I'm going to minus 5. And then from there we can find any term we want. So if I want the 30th term, I can plug in 30 for n, and I can get that number. So for practice in class, we looked at these equations and you wrote out the explicit forms. So for the first one, again, we can use any of these numbers. I'm going to do the first one just like we normally would. So I'm going to do -9. And then the pattern number here, it's going up 4, so +4. And so I'm going to +4 and -1 for the, and because it's -1, this is the first term and it's -1. Those are going to be the same. So then the next one, it's going down 1. And on this one, I'm going to use not the first term, I'm going to use the 7th term, just so you can, or sorry, the 4th term, which is 7, just so you can see the difference. Oh, since my pattern is subtracting, I can just put minus. And I really don't even need to put the 1 there, so I'm just going to put n minus. The 7 is the 4th number, so I'm going to -4. Again, you don't have to use the 7. We could have just done 10, and we could have just done n minus 1, just like the last time, using the first term. This one, if you notice, the pattern is decreasing 12, so we've got fn equals, I'm going to use the second term this time, just to change it up. So we got -12, and then n minus, I'm using the second term, so I'm going to -2. And for this one, the last one on here, it's getting more positive, so it's adding. And from 4 to 2, that's adding 2. And it might be more clear to see it right here. 1.5 to 3.5 is adding 2. So we're going to have fn equals -4.5 plus 2, and then n minus, oh, I just automatically went to the first term, so I'm going to -1 for that equation. So here, find the 30th term. So I'm just going to write out, and I'm just going to use the first term on these. It's just easy, just 4 plus. The pattern here, it's going up by 5. The term I want, I'll just put n for now. Okay, so if I want the 30th term, I'm going to plug in 30 for the n right here. So we're going to have, that ought to be 4 plus 5, and then 30 minus 1. And that, when we type it in our calculator or do it in our head with 29 and then times 5 and then plus 4, that'll give us the 30th number of that sequence. So this next one, n, let's use the second number just to make sure that we can do it all. Here it's adding 6, and then I'm just going to plug in the 50 right away because that's going to be our n, the number we're looking for. And then minus, I used the second number, so I'm going to -2 on that one. You could have done -1, the first term, plus 6, and then 50 minus 1 if you use the first term. So I just want you to realize that you can use more than just the first term. This one says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th term is 6, and the 6th term is 10. It says find the 9th term. So if this is the 5th and that's the 6th, then 7, 8, 9, this is the one we're looking for. 6 to 10 is 4 more, so 4 more, 4 more, and then 4 more. So it's just going to be 22. The 3rd term is 13. 1, 2, 3. And the 11th is 61. Find the slope. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 61. So this should look familiar of what we've already done. We made a table. The 3rd term is 13. The 11th term is 61. So 61 minus 13 is going to be 48, I believe. And then 11 minus 3 is 8. So our slope is 48 over 8, which turns out to be 6. So this slope number here, we can now fill in all of these numbers because we know it's adding 6 every single time. Well, 31. And so forth. And we can check and make sure it gets us to 61. So this one, the fourth term is 5, the seventh is 26. Find the slope and write the equation. So I'm just going to, I already know I need to make a table with the fourth being 5 and the seventh being 26. So this 21 difference, this is 3. So my slope is going to be 7. And so then from there, I can write an equation because I know this term and I know the fourth term. So I can use either one of those numbers. I prefer to use 5, it's smaller, plus the slope. And then n minus, and in this case I use the fourth term. So I'm going to minus 4, and that would be the equation. I could have also used the 26, so it would be 26 plus 7. And then that's the seventh term, so you would have done n minus 7 for that equation.